Good morning and welcome to the Ask Geeky Girl Show. My name is Angela Mondor and I'm also known as the Geeky Girl. I help stuck and stressed out entrepreneurs to have more fun in their business so they can attract their perfect clients. Today we are going to talk about Twitter some more. Yay! Some of you have said to me, geez, you know, I don't know about this Twitter stuff. I'm still trying to figure out Facebook, and that's okay. If you are still new in your business and you are making sure that you're careful about your time, then only pick one platform. I don't want you to go over the top and pick a bunch of platforms. That's the worst thing you could do. Spreading yourself far too thin is not going to help you do a good job. But if you're ready to branch out, or if you're already here on Twitter, not here, but there on Twitter, then perhaps you want to pick up some new tips. Maybe you want to know what's happening on Twitter that wasn't happening before, understand how Twitter works a little bit better, or maybe you're just trying to decide whether or not Twitter is for you. You've heard great things, but you're not really sure. But that's what this week is all about. It's all about Twitter, and today I'm going to take this a little bit deeper. We're going to talk about some strategies that are working on Twitter, and then hopefully you can either decide from that point, is it actually going to work for you, or is it something you want to try, and be mindful about what you've already tried. Ask yourself some hard questions. That's what today's going to be about. We're going to ask some really hard questions, and ask me just as many hard questions. So please ask questions here in the comments as well, okay? Thank you so much for being here live with me. I appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up, say hello. If you like what you hear, please share this out. And if you're here on the replay, I appreciate you as well. Please leave your comments below and I would love to answer them as the day goes on. So first of all, I want you to look at your Twitter. What are you using it for? What are you currently using Twitter for? What is it that you're posting? What are you actually doing out there? Now, you might think you're doing a great job, and if you look at your news feed, I want you to look at it from new eyes. Now, I don't want you to look at, yesterday we talked about what your news feed looks like from the perspective of the people you follow, but I want you to go look at your news feed. Okay, the stuff that you're posting. And I want you to look at it with new eyes. Remove your personal connection to it. Look at it as if it's somebody else. And I want you to step back for a moment and really take a look at what that information looks like. Okay? Now, you might need some help with that. Maybe you need a friend. Maybe you've got a coach to help you. Certainly, if you need some extra help, give me a shout. But I want you to step back and look at that Twitter feed with new eyes. Because looking at that, it'll let you know whether or not you're on the right track. And I'm going to give you some things that I want you to look at when you're looking at your own personal news feed. So who is it that you want to reach? What is your target market? What do they look like? Knowing who you want to connect with is going to be extremely helpful for you. First of all, it's going to be making it really easy for you to find them when you're trying to look for them, but it's also going to make it much easier for you to create that content because you know who it is that you're actually going to be targeting with that content. And your business financial success is tied to your customers and your customer service. So knowing what they want is really important, and it'll help you to not only find them but also service them better. So now if you understand who that person is that you're targeting, look at what they're using Twitter for, okay? This is one of my favorite things to do, and I'll tell all of you, follow me long enough and you'll understand what creeping actually means. Go through their Twitter feeds, go spend some time and look at what they are actually doing. What are they passionate about? What are they sharing? What are they commenting on? What kinds of things are they liking? What drives them to want to share other content out there on the internet? This information is extremely helpful to you, and it's right there in the open, publicly available for you to find and go through. This is gold, people. So I want you to get better at creeping. Find out what your audience actually wants from you so that you can give it to them. So then think about, what experience do you want to provide on your Twitter? Like, what is it? What's that experience look like to you? What have you been using Twitter for currently? Does it match your target market? So this is where the hard question comes in. Remember, I asked you to step back. to really look at it with different eyes. When you look at your Twitter feed, does it look like something that your audience actually wants to tweet, retweet, comment on? And the hard reality is, if you aren't very successful on Twitter, chances are that you're not providing them with the content that they actually want to see. So, and that could be from a few different reasons. Maybe you're actually marketing to the wrong audience. Maybe the audience you think you're marketing to isn't really that audience. So you might want to change that. It could be that your market isn't interested in using Twitter to connect with any businesses or your type of business, right? So now you have to adjust. So we've taken a step back, we've looked at our audience, we've seen what they're up to, and we've looked at ours and compared, does ours match what they want? And now we can make a choice. This is totally in your court. You get to adjust your course. Well, you can continue doing the exact same thing you're currently doing and getting the exact same results that you're currently getting. That's fine. That's your choice. Or you can choose to get different results. You can choose to change what you're doing to get different results. Or you can choose to stop using Twitter to market your business altogether. The choice is entirely up to you. It doesn't matter. But it's a choice. And understand that that's a choice. So here's some of the things that what people are using Twitter for right now, some things that are working for other people. One is a news type Twitter feed. So you could be, now news is there's a couple different ways. You could use the news piece as actual news that's happening in the world. You could be discussing the news that's happening in the world, or it could just be general news around your area or general news around your industry. It's up to you. But people are using that Twitter for those kinds of things. Now, when I talked about news, usually that follows opinions. You can use your Twitter feed to be filled with a bunch of opinions. Now, you can have opinions on all sorts of things. And if that's something your target market is looking for, then maybe that's an avenue or an angle that you can use. Having opinions is massive. Now, you can literally not have to create a crap ton of your own content. You can be someone who literally curates this information just based on your opinions. So you could literally be going through Twitter, picking out information, and remember yesterday we talked about the difference between a retweet and a quote. You can quote other people's tweets with your own opinions, and you could fill your Twitter feed just with your curated stuff. Lots of people are doing that. It is successful in some marketplaces. Now, calling people out. Clearly, this works for some people. I mean, the Donald, right? I mean, he calls people out all the time and gets people into uproars. You don't have to call somebody out quite like he does. However, it is a tactic or a skill or a marketing strategy that works for some people and in some audiences, calling people out on what they're doing. Maybe you have a specific cause that you are very passionate about, and you want to call out the people who are doing things that are against your cause. So something like that you definitely would be able to do as part of your Twitter marketing strategy. Now, momentum gathering, which is sort of similar to calling people out, but with momentum gathering, you can be talking to other people and saying, hey, this is my passion, this is my goal, and I want more of you. Come join me, and building that momentum and trying to get people on board with a specific cause or a specific plan, whatever it is, trying to get that passion built up. So there's that momentum gathering tweets that happen. Then there's tongue-in-cheek. There's lots of tongue-in-cheek stuff that happens out there. You can use the tongue-in-cheek methodology in creating content where you are playing on people's words and feelings. That is one way to do it. It is very specific to audiences, and I wouldn't use a lot of that at the end of the day. So some mainstream stuff, customer services are really important. It is one of those things, like Twitter is used for customer service all the time. We talked about it yesterday as well. And so you could have a customer service focused Twitter feed if you would like. In fact, some brands actually have a Twitter feed for one purpose and then an entirely new Twitter feed just for their customer service purpose. Now we're talking massive brands. We're talking about Bell and larger corporations that do those sorts of things. However, you can be a customer service focused tweeter as well. So it's something that you can use in your strategy. Retweeting your own content. Now, this is something really cool. People don't realize the importance of getting your content in front of your audience. And this is one of those things that I don't think enough people use correctly. Now, there's many different ways to retweet your content. One of them is that you literally retweet your own content. I've seen it be successful. It works for some people. They literally go through and just retweet their old stuff and bring it back up to the top. Because remember, Twitter moves quickly. There is a crazy ton of amazing content that happens on a daily basis, and not everybody spends their day on Twitter. They spend less time on Twitter than they do on Facebook. So if you're trying to catch the eyes, you want to be able to make sure your content is seen by more people. And one of the ways to do that is literally clicking the retweet button on your own tweets and bringing them back up to the front. So that is one definite way to do it. The other way is to legitimately just reschedule. So if you're scheduling stuff, you can take the content you've scheduled and just literally reschedule those ones to a different time frame to try and get a different time grouping of people. So retweeting your own content is it is done. It is not done a lot. However, people who do it are very successful. So right now, this is a fantastic tactic for a lot of you to get onto that bandwagon. I left videos for last because realistically speaking, videos are really important. We are going to be talking about live streaming on Friday. So I'm going to be going through the whole concept of live streaming on Twitter on Friday. But videos are super important, whether it's Facebook, or not necessarily Facebook videos, but YouTube videos, Periscope videos, videos you natively upload to Twitter. Those are all really, really important. Twitter is a place where we are now starting to get that multimedia feel. The imagery is really important. Videos equally as important. So we're starting to see that in Twitter, and Twitter is seeing it as well. So they're providing us with the ability to get that done in an easier way. Now, Twitter is a fantastic place for you to find out what's being said about you as well. Not only can you search your business name, but you can also search for keywords or phrases or questions that your audience could be asking about you and your business. And so you could start out by searching just your business name. Find out what happens, what comes up, what are some of the things that you hear about. Now, if you hear people complaining or you hear people tooting your horn, engage with those people. Even if they're unhappy with you, reach out. People will be surprised in a good way that you care about what they're saying about your business. So get involved in those conversations. This is really important. Once you find out what people are actually saying about your business, or if you see people talking about your business, you have an opportunity to get involved in those conversations and provide great information to them. Now, on the flip side, you can also be looking for things that they're asking about your company, but it's not really your company. They're just asking questions about what you offer. So looking at those conversations are great too. You can go get involved in those conversations. So if you sell shoes, for an example, and conversations are being had about the best kinds of shoes to buy for X particular function, then you can get involved in those conversations. Even though they don't say, hey, shoemaker, what is the best shoe for, blah, blah, blah. They're still talking about shoes. They're still talking about the function of shoes, and you still have the knowledge to be able to answer those questions. So once you find great conversation starters, or you find those key words that people are using about your types of products or services, you can actually use a service so that it will generate that information for you so you don't miss these opportunities. These are fantastic golden conversation opportunities, which, if you're listening, it's engagement that makes the difference. So you can get involved and engage in these conversations. There are many different platforms that you can use for this. Hootsuite's pretty good for it. Sprout Social does it. There's a lot of different ways that you can have these things flagged for you. You can also use IFTTT to create lists on your Twitter feed so that you can keep on top of what is happening in those conversations. So, next thing is, who can you connect with? Think about influence marketing. Literally, I could have done an entire show just on influence marketing, and maybe I will in July. Maybe we'll talk about this a little deeper there. But influence marketing, I'm sure you've heard about it. It's literally, when we think of influence marketing, it's typically a brand paying somebody who has a crap ton of followers to wear their clothes and parade around, or to mention their products. But did you realize that each and every one of us are influencers? You yourself, you're an influencer. You have a following of people who believe in you and believe in your ideals. Even if it's just your local friends and family, you are an influencer to them. So think about it this way. We're all influencers, and so start thinking about yourself as an influencer. What is it that you are putting out there into the Twitterverse? What is it that you are saying? And people are listening. Your followers are following you because you're leading them. And where are you leading them? If you think about yourself from an influencer perspective, then you'll start to think differently about the content that you're creating. So, who is it that you want to connect with? And how do they influence their target market or their audience? So, what is it that you are providing? And what is it that they're providing? So who can you connect with? And then I want you to think about what you can offer those connections. When you think about the people who are following you and the people that you're following, what is it that you can offer them? And it might not just be your business. You have other skills and talent. You have other information that can be of value and service to these other people. And so think about those people or the followers as people. They're people. They're not just numbers. They're people. They want to have conversations, and they want to engage with you, and they want to have an actual experience with you. They don't just want you to throw stuff at them. So think about when you're connecting with these people that you are trying to give them something. You can offer them fantastic information on all kinds of different things. It doesn't have to be just business related. Remember that. So think about what you can offer your connections. And when you're talking about connecting with people, try and help be a connector as well. So when somebody says, I need help with XYZ, and if it's not something that you do, maybe you happen to know somebody that does, and you can actually become a connector of people. So that's a service that you can offer your connections. There doesn't have to be a money transaction that happens when you connect people. It doesn't always have to be a financial gain. It could just be a relationship gain. You have helped somebody in some manner, and they're just grateful that you helped them, and that's enough. Okay? So sometimes it is about recommending other people, but you're connecting with people and you're giving them value. Now, that's one way that you can be an influencer, and the people who are connecting with you will feel valuable. They will feel like you value them, okay? Remember, your followers are people. They're all people, all of us. So helping them is really, really important, and you have the power to change somebody's life or their day. You could connect them with somebody that can make a difference. Maybe somebody's having a bad day, and you reach out and give them a resource that is just to help them, and that's it. It's not to make money. It's not because you're trying to line your pockets, but you're just trying to offer them assistance. And that is a way that you can change somebody's life, change somebody's day, help people out, and build your own influence. It's a fantastic way for you to use Twitter. So at the end of the day, there are some amazing ways that you can use Twitter. And like I said, you just need to understand your audience. What is it that they want? Take a step back. Look at your Twitter feed. Are you actually providing them with what they want to see or not? And then you have a choice. Do you still do what you do and get the same results? Or do you change course? Do you change up what you're up to so that you can get better results? Or do you just pack it in and say, you know what, Twitter's not the place for me? That's totally up to you. The ball's in your court and you get that opportunity to decide. But if you're going to be there, connect with people. Be an influencer yourself. Help other people become influencers and connect with other influencers as well and provide value, and your audience will thank you for it. I hope you have an amazing day. Tomorrow we are back again. Of course, we're going to be talking about Twitter because we're talking about Twitter all week. And we're going to be talking about the live streaming app for Twitter. So that's tomorrow. I said I was going to talk about it on Friday, but guess what? I'm going to be talking about it tomorrow. So the live tweeting or the live feeding streaming for Twitter is what we're talking about tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I hope to see you here. Thanks so much. Have a fantastic day. Bye now.